Do you know how much God loves you? Do you have any understanding of the immensity of God's love? This is a massive thing to think about, and it's a thing to always reflect on in our prayer, to try and come to a deeper understanding of how much God loves us. Because while cerebrally, is that even a word? In a cerebral sense, we may know that God loves us, but to experience that unconditional love, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. When we experience God's love, it causes reactions, it causes something in us, and we can measure that. Maybe that's not the right way of putting it, but we can measure that in a sense by how we react. Some of the main reactions, changes, transformations in our lives when we come to realize God's love for us is a desire to give of ourselves in service of God, a desire to give what we've been given in service of God and in service of other people. And so you might realize that this has been on my mind at the moment, but it's an opportune time as we approach the end of the year, or perhaps before it gets to the craziness of Christmas, the awesomeness of Christmas as well, but to say thank you. Thank you for the way that you pour yourself out in love, in service, and in giving. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, I don't really do that in church context, but I do that another way. If that's you, then thank you. We're all called to pour ourselves out, just as Jesus poured his own life out in service of others. The cool thing with realizing, coming to grasp in a fuller sense how much God loves us, is when we realize that we don't need to do what we do for the thanks of other people. We do it because we desire to do it. So as we enter into the midway point of our short, sharp, brief Advent season, let's reflect on God's unconditional love and know in deeply intimate and personal ways that God loves us, and that we're being constantly invited into a living, dynamic relationship with Jesus, which causes desires in us to give of ourselves to others. May God bless you this Advent.